One more major statue, and it's located in the middle of the garden, and that's that of Jan Amos Komenius, or Jan Amos Komenský. Back in his days, all the educated people used Latin names because that was the language of the educated strata. So Comenius, but in his native was Komenský. He was a bishop, and he's known as father of modern education. His breakthroughs were the idea of, until then, most of the education consisted of reading the scriptures, studying the scriptures, rewriting the scriptures, and he counts that there's way too much to learn from the nature around us. He really started the ideas of zoology and especially botany, studying flowers, drawing them, including in pictures of subjects in the book, opening up and dissecting the flowers. And for a bishop, who was basically, his background was as a clergy, he was really scientific in his approach. He also promoted the idea of letting women be part of the educational system. Until then, it was always the men because they were studying to become priests or so. And he says we're missing too much of opportunity with all this talent and potential knowledge with the women. And so he promoted. So there he was the first women's liberator, promoting the idea of educating or giving women opportunity to become educated. The statue was actually a gift of the Czechoslovak Republic, and it's one of the most recent pieces that was installed. I believe it was installed in 1958. It was a gift from Czechoslovak government in 1937, but because of the war and the circumstances, it did not get placed in here till 1958. One of the things that I'm planning on doing and applied for a grant from the Czech Republic, and just Saturday received some funding from the Czech Republic, is to illuminate the statue. So at night, that statue and hopefully that of Masaryk would be lit up. And we want to do it using solar power. So it would be sort of a green concept, bringing the green movement to the cultural gardens. And that's why I started creating a landscape area around the statue, because we'll have to have the spotlight there somewhere. In fact, we were here with a fellow, just a little side story, we were here with the fellow that I'm working with on a solar lighting, and of course it had to be at night. So we're trying different bulbs and different fixtures and lighting them, and I hear this ruckus on the street, and our cars were parked over there, and I was afraid I got hit because this truck went off the road, went on a sidewalk, almost hit the flagpole. And so I'm thinking, like, what in the world had happened? And after we thought about it, probably what happened is this fellow was driving at night, and all of a sudden there was this flash of a bishop out of the darkness, and probably scared the living wits out of him. And he went off the road and almost took out the flagpole, because this image just kind of popped out in the middle of darkness as we were trying to switch the lights and things like that. Speaking of the flag, each garden has a flag and a sign. The flagpole and the sign are provided by Holden Park Trust. So when new garden comes in, after they get established and then they build a garden, the Holden Park Trust provides a flagpole and a sign. Cleveland Cultural Garden Federation, which is an organization that encompasses all the gardens and tries to promote them, on a biannual basis buys the flags. So the flags, and then the city of Cleveland puts them up.
So are the flags up year-round then, or just
they are on year-round. We used to take them down for the winter, but then somebody suggested to keep them up, and it's such a nice feature in the wintertime when the leaves are gone and everything is covered in snow, and you see these flags. They bring color to the park, and it really looked nice. So we said it's worth the money. They get worn out much faster because they are there through the winter months, but it's worth the money because it brings the park, makes it alive.
Changed the name from Czechoslovakia, so it still remains today as the Czechoslovak Society of Art and Science. It always was, but they didn't change it after the division of the country.